Background music of gentle piano accompaniment accompanies the narrated scene. On set, Kelly wipes her eyes as the camera gradually zooms in. Our access to television has as many unexpected moments of delight, mirth, and surprise. However, every once in a while, an event occurs that serves as a reminder that the individuals we observe on a daily basis are indeed human, just like us. That's what transpired on Live with Kelly and Mark when the always composed, humorous, and upbeat Kelly Ripa suddenly started crying. That wasn't in the original plan. It was spontaneous. The meat was uncooked. Truly, it was. An emotional update on her spouse and co-host, Mark Consuelos, was the catalyst. We will explore that iconic event, the love and resilience that led up to it, and the reasons why this narrative has millions of followers today. What started as sadness turns into something far stronger if you stick around. On Live, it was just another ordinary morning. Amid the applause from the crowd, Kelly sat down next to Mark as they got ready for yet another round of teasing. Her grin, however, soon faded. With the cameras rolling, Kelly put her palm on the desk, took a deep breath, and murmured through her emotions as her voice cracked. Something concerning Mark must be disclosed. The sound went out in the studio. Many viewers drew nearer to their televisions as they sat at home. This wasn't like a magic show on TV. This was the moment when reality shattered, reminding us all that, beneath the glitz and glamour of show business, there is always real life waiting. Kelly's emotions flowed freely alongside her words. You have to respect Kelly's accomplishments to feel the gravity of her grief. American mornings have been graced with Kelly Ripa's presence for more than 20 years. She was a natural at making connections, whether it was in her early days working alongside Rex Philin or during her chemistry with Ryan Seacrest. Over coffee in the morning, she became more than simply a host. She became a storyteller, a neighbor, and a friend. The event now had genuine emotion in addition to entertainment, thanks to Mark's presence. Followers weren't only idling their TVs. On a daily basis, she was emotionally uplifted by witnessing the unfolding of a marriage, a partnership, and a real-life love story. It became more intimate. Their romance started in 1995, while they were both working on All My Children. Kelly had already made a name for herself. Their on-screen chemistry was electric, and Mark was the dashing newcomer. They shocked everyone, including their closest friends, by eloping in Las Vegas within a year. They became a family, brought up 3 kids, and weathered the Hollywood storm together over the following 30 years. The public has witnessed parents commemorate milestones like anniversaries, send off children to college, and share in the joy of hilarious radio bloopers. It was more like listening to a friend commiserate when Kelly discussed Mark's health on live TV rather than a news report. Kelly came clean about Mark's hidden struggles with his health. Even though she didn't spill the beans, her remarks conveyed a picture of sleepless nights, trips to the doctor, and struggles fought behind closed doors. She confessed that she had made an effort to be strong, but that the burden eventually became too much. And just then, when the show was airing, the facade broke. She wasn't crying for the camera. The man she had built her life with, the father of her children, her partner in every sense of the word, he was the recipient of these. For the audience, it was both tragic and incredibly relatable. Everyone felt this way for a reason. Watching live TV is full with surprises. There is no room for revisions or redos. Kelly had no script to fall back on and no second chance when her voice failed. Our eyes beheld pure, unadulterated humanity. A rare treat for a public sick of staged reality shows and staged Instagram posts. We recognized ourselves in Kelly's cries. The instances when we were taken unawares by sudden emotions like grief or terror, when we abruptly broke down. For millions, her frailty was a reflection of themselves. Mark leaned over and took Kelly's hand as she attempted to collect herself. He remained silent. He made no effort to detract from what she had to say. Sitting with her in that vulnerable zone was all he did. His presence conveys more meaning than any amount of words could. They have relied on Mark, who is powerful and charming, as the foundation of their partnership for decades. However, at that very second, his power was subdued. Being present itself was a powerful force. This little conversation said a lot to anyone who has ever been through a spouse's sickness or other difficult time. A social media frenzy ensued as soon as the show began to air. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter were inundated with messages of support and love from fans. Someone wrote, "I've been a Kelly fan for many years. Her breakdown brought tears to my eyes as well. Keep Mark in your prayers. They have been a part of my mornings for decades." Another person said, "Their plight is close to my own." There was no idle chatter in the group's reaction. Empathy was the quality in question. One of the most adored daytime TV hosts, Kelly Ripa, recently had an emotional moment that fans are both heartbroken and worried about. The charming and outgoing co-host of Live with Kelly and Mark revealed another side of herself when she sobbed on air about her husband Mark Consuelos. As compared to her normally collected self, viewers were deeply disturbed to see Ripa in such a vulnerable and raw state. The heartfelt second, Kelly Ripa and her co-host Mark Consuelos were talking about a recent milestone or event in their lives when the tearful moment happened. Kelly found herself overcome with emotion as she started to talk about her spouse, and she fought back tears. As she began to discuss her family dynamics and her relationship with Mark, the topic became more intimate. Normally the epitome of professionalism, Ripa appeared to choke up. Her ardent admirers saw right through her performance and knew she was reacting emotionally. Seeing Ripa in such a vulnerable state was unexpected for someone who usually exchanges humorous banter and keeps the broadcast lighthearted. Ripa and Consuelos have been married for nearly 26 years, and after a lengthy discussion about their great relationship, tears welled up in their eyes. A lot of people look up to the pair because of how solid their love is and how they've managed to keep their marriage strong and loving despite the stresses of their famous careers. What made Kelly Ripa so upset? Even though Ripa didn't explain why she was so emotional, her remarks suggested that her connection with Mark Consuelos had a significant influence on her life. Everything they've been through together and the deep love they have were both brought up by her. This provides more evidence that her emotional collapse may have been a reaction to her profound appreciation for Consuelos' unfaltering support throughout the years. As moving as the whole thing was, it really hit home when Ripa recognized the sacrifices they had each done for their families. The couple has maintained a healthy relationship despite the difficulties of balancing their roles as parents and performers. Ripa may have been unable to control her ecstatic feelings for her spouse at that same moment. On top of that, Kelly Ripa has never been bashful about discussing the challenges of juggling her personal life, career, and family. Anxieties over these obligations and her gratitude to Mark for being there for her could be contributing factors to her breakdown. It was an honest look at the struggles they've faced in real life, showing followers that even famous people are human. The backing of viewers and co-hosts. Mark Consuelos, who co-hosts with Ripa, was there to reassure her after the emotional outburst. Their chemistry shone through as Consuelos, who is notorious for making fun of his wife on live, immediately shifted the conversation's tone to one of mutual support and concern. The two had a touching moment of affection when he reassured Ripa that she wasn't alone. Viewers could feel it. The audience noticed the passionate exchange and expressed their opinions on social media. Kelly has a lot of admirers who have spoken out about how much they love and support her, especially because she has shown a side of herself that isn't usually on TV, her fragility. Some people praised her closeness to Mark, praising their bond and how they managed to remain humble despite their celebrity. The relationship between Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Married since 1996, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos' love tale is among Hollywood's most legendary. Their chemistry was palpable from the moment they co-starred on All My Children, the daytime drama in which they first met. Despite the ups and downs of their respective professions, their partnership has always been marked by love, mutual regard, and fun. The demands of raising 3 children and their hectic schedules have caused them to spend a lot of time apart, among other difficulties they've encountered over the years. Still, the pair has weathered the storms together to establish themselves as one of the entertainment industry's most formidable power couples. They clearly love each other very much since they always have each other's backs, whether it's in their personal lives or their careers. Conclusion: honest and unfiltered feelings on television. Celebrities are just like the rest of us. And Kelly Ripa's meltdown on Live with Kelly and Mark is proof of that. Like everyone else, they go through love, loss, and difficulties. The woman had spent decades crafting her public image while keeping her personality light and breezy, so this was a profound moment of vulnerability for her.